Hey, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you may be. This is Cody Cox with Trinity National Holdings out on my Friday stroll. It is June 1st, 2018, and it's a beautiful spring day here in Oregon. In fact, smells like spring. I love these kind of days. The nights it stays light out until about 9:30, 9:40 right now. And of course, we're slowly creeping into that summer solstice where summer comes in and we have some of those long, warm days. Anyway, today's a great day, and it kind of gets me thinking some of the things. It's been kind of a wild week for me. You know, we had a weekend, a 3-day weekend. I took Tuesday off as well, so I had a 4-day weekend. Back in the office today on Friday. But it reminds me of a couple things. One is kind of what I want to bring to you today is pace. Talking about pace, P-A-C-E. And that is, we all got to pace ourselves. You know, some of the long distance runners that are out there that even are breaking records for long distance running, they pace themselves in the early part of the race. They don't start off sprinting right from the beginning because they know that they're not going to make it. And so they pace themselves, and generally the final lap or the final part of their race is when they race the fastest. So I think that's important for us to think about in the note investing business, is that, you know, we need to pace ourselves. We set goals at the beginning of the year and find out that those goals get adjusted throughout the course of a year. But we need to pace ourselves because, you know, again, working two full-time jobs, trying to make sure I stay focused between the two, and giving my all on both sides. You know, there's oftentimes I get fatigued, especially when both of them are ramping up and going as fast and as hard as they can. I do get fatigued. And so the pace becomes an important prospect for me to think about, make sure I'm maintaining. You know, the other part of that is we talk about, you've heard oftentimes about this work-life balance, you know, where we've got to balance our work life and balance our home life and all the other hats that we wear during the course of a day or a week or a month. And I think there's some truth to that to a degree. And what I mean like that is you can't do both at the same time. I think it's impossible to do both at the same time. Let's say you have a project at work or a campaign, or you're trying to ramp up your personal business. I mean, you got to spend a lot of time on that to make sure that it gets to where you want to go. And so the balance that they're talking about is I can do a lot of work or business focus, and it's going to take a lot of energy, and there's going to be some other things in my life that are going to have to take second or third place. But then when that's over, then you've got to take that rebalancing and go back and make sure that you make up and get that balance back square with your family and the other aspects of your life that you have those commitments to. And so that work-life balance they talk about is something that doesn't happen every day, or oftentimes doesn't happen every week. I think there's peaks and valleys that we have to be conscious of. But I think in the long run, again, when you pace things out over a period of time, then those peaks and valleys, those focus on that work-life balance, you know, comes into more of a median where things balance out over time. You know, there's times when I want to spend a whole month with just my family, doing things with my family, and my business and work life is going to be, you know, second place at that point in time. But when opportunity arises in the business world or in the work life, then that's going to be my focus. And fortunately, my family understands that, and I got to give kudos to them, because right now, you know, I'm in this little transition of trying to get back on track from a business standpoint. We took a little family time, but the couple things I want to remind you of. Hi. Is that here coming up next Thursday night is the general meeting of Northwest Real Estate Investors Association. Northwest REIA is the local REIA for Portland, Oregon. They're the second largest REIA in the Northwest outside of the Puget Sound area. They had their general meeting, and I have been honored to be the special speaker that particular night. And so I'll be looking forward to doing that. We're going to try and live stream it, and so once I can get back, and I'll hook up on this particular video, access to Zoom, so you can watch it if you're not in the local area, can't make it, want to see what I have to say. I'm excited to see what I have to say. And so that's an important thing for me coming up in the near future. Part of that emphasis that's going on, trying to just get my word out a little bit about what we're doing here at Trinity National Holdings. So with that, I'm going to sign off for today. Again, it's getting sunnier, getting a little warmer. Gosh, I love this. Days like this is why I'm glad I live in the Northwest. Anyway, thanks a lot, guys. And just remember, together, our potential is infinite. And I'll talk to you next week. Thanks.